Welcome to Called to Homeschool with your host, Meg Thomas. I am a mother of 7 with 5 homeschool graduates. Each week, we'll talk about real-life homeschool, mindset shifts, and practical tools you can use in your home. Because homeschooling isn't just about school, it's about restoring the family. Hello, welcome back to the podcast today. How is the new year treating you? Hope it is going well. As you can imagine, I hear a lot of concerns from the homeschooling world. Concerns from running the house, concerns with parenting, lots of homeschool concerns, spouse concerns, all the concerns. And today I want to focus on parenting concerns because I saw this question that was so awesome and I wanted to talk about it. So this mama says, I love the idea of being a calm, confident homeschool mom, but in real life, I feel like I'm constantly reacting. My kids argue, ignore me, push boundaries, and I end most days feeling exhausted and frustrated. I want to be calm, but in the moment, I just don't know what to do. How do I stop reacting and start responding with confidence? First off, if this is you, I want you to know you are not broken, you are not failing, and you are not alone. What you're describing is not a character flaw. It's not a lack of patience. It's not because you're doing homeschool wrong. It's because no one ever taught you what to do in the moment. Most of us grew up being told what not to do. Don't yell, don't overreact, don't be too harsh. But no one showed us what to do instead. So when things get loud, unsafe, overwhelming, or emotionally charged, our nervous system takes over. We react, we snap, we lecture, we threaten, we shut down, we spiral. Not because we always want to, but because that's what the brain does when it doesn't have a clear plan. And this is the part I want you to hear. Calm is not a personality trait. Confidence is not something you're born with. They are skills. Great thing about skills is anybody can get them. You don't feel calm because you don't have a framework you trust. And you don't feel confident because you are guessing. And guessing is exhausting. When you don't know what to do, every moment feels like a test you might fail. So here's what I want to give you today. Relief. You don't need to become a different kind of mom. You don't need more patience. You don't need to be more gentle or more firm. You just need clarity. Because when you know what to do, calm follows. When you know how to lead, you don't have to react. When you have a system, you don't spiral. And this is exactly why I teach what I teach. Not because moms are doing it wrong, but because they've never been taught what actually works long term. And I want to say this clearly. Becoming calm does not mean being permissive. Being regulated does not mean being a doormat. Being gentle does not mean being unclear. Real calm leadership is firm, steady, and predictable. It's not loud, it's not reactive, and it's definitely not emotional. And the good news is you can learn this. You don't have to guess anymore. So what I want you to understand when moms tell me they feel reactive, overwhelmed, and unsure of what to do, that's not a discipline problem. It's not a motivation problem. It's a leadership problem. Not because you're a bad leader, but because no one ever taught you how to lead calmly. Most of us were taught one of two things growing up. You either obeyed out of fear or were you left to figure things out on your own. Neither of those taught us how to lead with clarity, structure, and emotional safety. That's why so many moms today feel stuck between two extremes. I don't want to be harsh, but I don't want to be permissive. I don't want to yell, but I also don't want to be ignored. I don't want to control my kids, but I also don't want chaos. So we bounce between overreacting and then giving up, and that is exhausting, and it does not work. This is why I teach what I call the 3 pillars of parenting that move your homeschool from chaos to calm. As many of you know, I've homeschooled 7 kids. So awesome. And 5 of them have already graduated. And I can tell you with full confidence, calm is not something I was born with. I did not magically know what to do. I did not always feel or act patient. I did not always feel confident. What changed everything for me was learning how to lead my home with clarity instead of emotion. I learned how to stop reacting, start responding, create structure, build trust, and guide instead of control. And that's what I now teach other moms, not because they're failing or bad moms, but because they deserve these tools. And friends, I have decided to do a free webinar teaching this called From Chaos to Calm, the 3 shifts that change your homeschool. It is not about being perfect, because that does not exist. This is not about having quiet kids, because if it was, I've already failed. This is not about doing more, because nobody wants that. It's about learning how to lead your home with clarity and confidence. In this call, I want to teach you how to stop reacting to negative behavior, how to grow the good you want to see, how to set calm, firm boundaries that actually work. And I'm going to walk you through this in a way that feels doable, not overwhelming. Also, I'm going to do a live Q&A at the end so I can answer your specific questions. This call is for you if you feel like you're constantly reacting or not doing anything at all. You second guess yourself. You want to be calm, but you don't know how. You want your homeschool to feel lighter. You want this to actually last long term, because homeschool should not feel like survival. It should feel like leadership. So I want to come back to the question we started with today, to the question of wanting being a calm, confident mom, tired of feeling exhausted, tired of kids pushing boundaries and wanting to stop reacting to the kids. If that question feels like it could have come from your own heart, I want you to hear this once again. You do not need to become a different mom. You don't need more willpower. You don't need to be more patient or more clarity. What you need is a framework you can trust. You need tools you can reach for in real time. You need a way to lead that doesn't rely on your mood. And that is exactly what I want to give you. Calm is not something you're born with. It's something you build. Confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from knowing what to do. So please come and join me for this webinar so I can help you step out of chaos and into calm. The webinar is tomorrow night, so Thursday, January 29th at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And I hope you can make it there. And if you can't make it live, guess what? It's going to be recorded so that you can watch the replay. You can register at my website, www.coachmegthomas.com. You can grab the link in the show notes, my Instagram bio, wherever fits your fancy, friends. So I hope to see you on the call. And if not, I will see you in next week's podcast. Have a great week. Thanks so much for listening to Call to Homeschool. If today's episode was helpful, the best way you can support the show is by leaving a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps more homeschool moms find this work, and I appreciate it so much.